It's Sunday, the day of rest, in theory. So, where are we at now with our indie horror master plans? Well, for the sleazy 80s inspired sword and sorcery film, we finished a day of gory shooting yesterday. It was a fabulous 15-hour day of friendship and indie horror collaboration that produced some excellent results. So, very happy with that. Lots of business, admin, and legal stuff that I'm doing as a producer, which is hard work and is, I can't say it's the most fun. It's not the worst thing, but it's certainly not it's obviously not the best thing, but it's also the thing that gets you paid. So that's important for keeping the show running with our companies. In the meantime, I'm also developing all the art assets and campaign text for the crowdfunding campaign that will go with our sleazy 80s horror sword and sorcery film at the end of April. And that's quite a bit of work. I'm doing a lot of the graphics myself because I actually have a background way back in graphic design. So I've never been quite able to let go of playing with Photoshop. So that will be probably one of the critical things I'll be doing. But that's not all. For almost said the name there, for the violent, visceral Scottish horror film for later this year, the financing is, by and large, it's all wrapped up now. So there will be a crowdfunder at some point way down the line when the film is in post. So we're kicking that into the long grass, but that will get us the little bit of funding necessary to just complete the film. But that's not necessary for writing and production. So, wow, yeah. What did I do 5 weeks ago? Put together a film package and got it over the line. And thanks to our partners and friends working with us. So at the end of the year, we've got a movie. Great. But what are we going to do till then? Well, that will be the subject for, oh God, another film package that I'm putting together that's been in the works very slowly over the last 6 months that hopefully will cross over the line. And when I say that, pardon me, I'm talking about funding. It's crossed over the line, it's basically funded. So that will be another horror film. So we're looking at 2 horror films this year to shoot. But here's the thing, we are in post, right now on the sleazy fantasy film, but also on a horror anthology film called For We Are Many 2, which it's been in the works for a while because it was quite a casual project. It consists of short films that folks like our friends were making in their spare time. But now it's reached the stage where it's like, it's time to twist the cap on that bottle and get it done. And that will be happening in the middle of the year as well. A lot of shooting just to complete that project once and for all. So that's basically 3 movies then to be either shot or finished off with shooting, and a fantasy film in post. We also have Ghost Crew, which we need to support the release for as well. So as you can see, there's already a lot of work coming up. And that's before we get to the key project, the flagship project, the British Horror Studio. And at the moment, I'm still just trying to get the time to set up the Discord and the increased functionality of how folks on our email list can interact with me and work together. But it's very important because once we do that, we will be able to propagate success. I'm sure that's not the right use of the word. We will be able to exponentially increase what we are achieving in terms of additional signups and working together to produce text, art, online structuring for websites and everything necessary so that we can basically develop the infrastructure stage by stage necessary for gaining the additional levels of support from folks around the world that want to be involved, that want to help to make a retro, traditional, Amicus and the Hammer inspired horror studio. And at the moment, I've figured that that sign up needs about 10,000 emails at least, and will eventually need endorsements from very credible people in the film industry. And that's not because the studio itself is like this kind of venture capital project. It's not like that. It is certainly a vehicle for folks that have commercial aspirations in the horror genre, but it also must be matched with an artistic aspiration as well, and a desire to help others, especially those that might not have the benefits. I almost said the word privileges, but I don't like that word in that context. It's some folks live in London, some folks have folks that work already in the industry, some folks are rich, it's just the way of life. And they'll always be a step ahead. And they can kind of look after themselves by and large. But you can't if you're, forced to survive on a diet of uncooked fish fingers, whilst clambering along the beach rocks, trying to find mussels and those other little things that begin with a C, cockles, to sell to tourists. You guys could benefit more from the British Horror Studio project. So, I'm gonna say sign up, but there's 2% that will watch this whole video on Twitter. So sign up. There's text anyway, www.britishhorrorstudio.com. But that won't get us to the 10,000. What will get us to the 10,000 is when we basically get a conversation with those who have already signed up to work together, so that we are now trying to recruit other folks towards the project, armed with more information about the explicit goals of the first, second stages. So it's less of an abstract, romantic idea and more structured. So that's basically where we are at film-wise. But in terms of, I've got a stray here. You'll see I'm very vain, but it's just because I'll watch back on these videos and then I'll see a single hair cutting across my face, and at that moment, my world is destroyed. But apart from all of that, it's Mother's Day today in the UK, so I hope everyone is, buying scented candles and a variety of nice smelling bathroom things for their mothers, because that tends to be what they like. I will be ordering... This sounds rubbish, right? But to my mum, this is great. So, and this is what she wants. Indian takeout, curry. So, yep, I will be getting her that. I'll be paying a visit and feeding noms. And on the subject of noms, my diet, I'm now on week 5 of the keto diet. And I am now at, 16 stone 13. And I started out at, and this really shocked me, 18 stone 7. I'm one of those guys where it kind of collects around my tummy. So I end up looking like one of those bugs, like a daddy long legs, with the round body and the long arms and legs. So I didn't really notice until I was, anyway, it doesn't matter, no excuses. So I'm at it now. And if you'd ever like to see a little video on what I'm actually eating, because I do quite like cooking, but not anything super complex. And that has made this diet bearable, because I've heard of folks doing keto diets and things like that, where they're just eating from little packets that they get and things like that. And I mean, that's cool if it works for them, but if you're someone that's like, no, I want to eat, cooked things and they need some vegetables or salad, then I can give you some ideas. Anyway, there you go. Quite a broad ranging subject video. Now, there's so much I could talk to you guys about. I mean, geez, even things about our websites and I didn't even mention the novel distribution, sales and marketing plan that we're developing for the British Horror Studio, a way to actually make and sell films in a way that's completely different to normal horror movie distribution. One that places sustainability first and creative voices first. But this is too much for one video, right? So guys, big hugs from me, and I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. And let me know what you think of the stuff I'm saying in this video, if you're one of the 5 people that have made it this long. Thank you, and speak to you soon.